Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Training Tuesday. It's morning. We're here. All right. So we have a deep dive into soft palettes. So we've done a lot of videos on soft palettes, but we've done a lot showing you just kind of how to make them and how you can use them. We'll just give you a quick little preview here of some of the ways you can use them in some better ways, and also some improvements we've made with soft palettes recently. So we're here in the typical demo show. We're gonna remove this guy here. And like I said, we've done a ton of videos on making soft palettes, but we've even improved that recently. So say I wanted to make a soft palette for all my fixtures. I'd just grab all the lights. I can be messy with this. If I know I want every attribute, I can just hit locate. If I want single attributes, which we'll try here in a minute, we can do an individual attribute in a partial palette. That's fine too. But for now, we'll just hit locate. We'll just put all the junk in our programmer. All we really care about right now is color, because we're going to use color as an example. And we'll record this as soft 1. And we can do that a couple more times. We've seen this before. We can record soft 2. Record soft 3. And we can record soft 4. So we just made 4 soft palettes. I'm going to unlink those because it makes me feel better. Shouldn't really matter, but it's good practice there. But these are still not soft palettes. Now, we know we can go in here. We can go to the execute screen. We can put them on the execute screen. We can go to encoder E. We can do that long process of building your soft palettes that way. But what we've added is, if you know these are going to already become soft palettes, we can select them. And we've added a button up top here that says Set Soft. Once I do that, you see it says CS in the corner, not just color. It has color and soft. What should happen now is if I were to take my fixtures, so let's take our spots and our washes. And actually, helps if I build the grid first. Let's do that. So execute screen, we'll set a grid size. We'll just do a 12 by 12. Then we'll go find our groups. Throw them in here. And like I said, this is nothing new. We've done a million videos on it. Throw them down there. We'll grab our colors. Base 10 colors. We'll copy those. Take them again. Copy those. Yeah, there we go. Now, when we come in here and we go to color and we copy one of our soft palettes that we've already said this is going to be a soft palette, you see that it already has an S in it and it already says soft. So not a big time saver, but saves you a step and allows you to work within that one window to say, look, I know these are going to be soft palettes. Just make them soft palettes by default. We're good to go. Now we can, of course, draw a region around these and we can make them soft palettes essentially. But I'm going to make a few more things into here before we get into that. Just so we can show some different ideas, different options, different ways to use this. I am going to take my positions. So we need to make a soft palette for position. So we'll grab these guys. We'll just pick a position, make sure we have all of the position we need. In this case, pan and tilt's fine. You might want the pan tilt speed or some other, continuous rotation. Just make sure you have everything you need in that soft palette. And we will record this as soft POS. And again, we'll say set soft. You see it puts an icon on it if there isn't one already there. You can change that icon. That's easy enough to do. And then we will take our positions, copy those into our execute screen. Copy those down here. And then we'll take our little soft position one, throw him over here. And then how you do this is up to you. If you want to do a position and a color separate, do that. I prefer to separate them out. Next, we're going to take just our spots. And with our spots here, I've made sure that our shutter palettes all work exactly how they should. There's our slow, medium, fast, and our open. So we've got our shutter, just our shutter in our programmer. And we will record that as soft palette. We're going to call this soft shut. Go. And again, we're going to tell it it's a soft palette. I'm just going to move him up here to make copying this a little bit easier. Copy those here. And those only apply to the spots. I only touch those up for the spots, so we'll just keep them there for this example. And then I'm going to move all of this down a little bit, show you something else that we've been working on here. So we'll just jump those down. If we make a group that is our spots and our washes, those are the only two we put in the execute screen. So we'll come in here, we'll record that. We'll call this all ML. And we'll make yet another region. We can do that. Move this guy here. We'll grab all our colors and our soft one. We will copy that there. All right. As I mentioned, we can do individual regions or we can do them all in one. I'm going to do individual ones. That's how I usually do it in real life, so I can see what each region applies to. And now we'll make our regions. So we'll come in here. We'll make our big one here. Set region for all ML. We'll set our region for the color for the spots. Set our region for our shutter our position for our spots. And our shutter. Color for the washes. And color for the position for the washes. All right, so there's our soft palettes. Nothing new again. We've seen this before. Now, where it usually hitches people up, and we mention this in just about every soft palette video we do, is these do nothing now. They're just palettes, right? They don't become the super special awesome thing that soft palettes are until you use those fixtures in a queue. So I'm going to grab my spots. We're going to put them at full. And then I'm going to come into position, color, and beam, and I'm going to grab soft one, soft shutter, and soft position. Okay, so in my programmer, I have references, palette references to each of those palettes. And now that I've done that, I can write my queue. So we'll record this here. We'll call this soft. We'll clear out. We'll grab our washes and do the exact same thing. So we'll grab our washes. We'll put them at full. And zoom those down just a wee bit so they're a little less. There we go. That's better. Now remember, I didn't make my palette, my soft palette for shutter with the washes. That's fine. So we just won't include that. So we'll grab soft color. We'll grab our soft position. And we will record that here. And we will set this up and we will call it wash soft. Now that we've done that, what's going to happen is these have palette references in them. They have palette references to the soft palettes. So when we fire this queue, each of these queues is asking that soft palette what it should be doing. So it's going to do whatever's set in here. So right now, yellow, yellow, and white. We go blue, we go amber, we go red. You see that everything's changing color. UV is not a great color to show it. What we've done is we've made the desk sync up. So if I grab the all up here, you see that they track. As long as those are using the same soft palette and same values, you see that if I do the all, every column tracks and keeps track of that. Now, when I break that, everything jumps. Now, this one has to choose 1 out of 2, so it's going to choose whichever one it decides it wants to. But you see that we can make and keep track of things. So no more guessing, is it red, is it blue, is it yellow, what color is it based off of different regions, because as long as you build it right, the color is going to track. That goes for positions as well. If we were to do an all position picker, it would absolutely work for that as well. Now, as we've explained in some other videos, but I don't know if we've shown, is these regions and these soft palettes will use the timing from these cues. So if I come in here and I put a 3-second fade on all of these, and we come in here and we pick a new color, you'll see that the color fades each one. If I pick a new position, position fades as well. Cool thing you can do with this is if you put a fade time on everything, no matter what's going on, and you come into setup playbacks and you set your crossfade master function, in this case we're using QStacks for our timing, to a QStack global rate master. This is now going to home itself at 50%. It's going to be 100% of its time. So if we carefully on the PC, get it to 100. You see right down here, it says 100%. What that means is that 100% of its time, if we pick a color, everything fades over 3 seconds. Pretty normal. But now if I pull this fader way down and I pick a new color, you see that it went a lot faster. If I push it way up and I pick a new color, it's gonna make a liar out of me, isn't it? And did I pick the right thing? Scalable remaster. Yeah, that's the right one. Try that again. We'll turn it way down. Way up. There we go. More extreme example was needed. So all the way up gives me a snap. All the way down gives me a fade of whatever time I've chosen. This is 0%, so yeah. So you can control that timing. So you get a fast song, you speed it up. If it's a slow song, you slow it down. You can control what happens there. Now, the fun thing with that is you can also use this to choose things like shutter. Say you have a build coming up. So you know that you have a long transition coming up. Now we only have a 3-second fade time on here, so it's not going to be super long. But if we wanted to, we could come in here and let's say we put this to 10 seconds. So if I have a build coming up, I can go from open to slow. And in theory, it's going to start going slow. And as I go to shutter fast, it'll actually fade and build that shutter. So the timing can apply to just about anything. If I need to settle it down, I go back to open. You see that it's going to slow down. Kind of hard to tell with the rendering because it's a little choppy, but you see that it's slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, and it's open. So think of creative ways and creative, interesting ideas on how you can control different channels with this. You can do the same with Zoom. You can do the same with a lot of other things. Now, the last thing is effects, and I think we've shown this before as well. But the reason we made the 3 or 4 soft palettes for color was to show this. We can make a series of effects using just these soft palettes, duplicate our color pickers that we have up here, and we'll be able to control one effect can be any colors we want it to be. And again, I think we've shown this before, but it's just worth reiterating. So if we grab, we're just going to grab our spots. We're going to grab this whole region right here, and we're going to copy it 3 times. There we go. We're going to go to layout 1. We're going to grab our 3 unused or new soft palettes we haven't put in here yet. We'll plop them in here. And again, remember they became soft automatically because we did the set soft in the palette window. That one there, move that one there, this one here. And we will set a region, and set a region. There we go. All right, now we'll grab our lights. We'll add an effect to them. So we'll say all soft. We'll add a group effects. We'll go to color, recolor. Again, I'm pretty sure we've shown this probably 100 times, but we'll choose soft 2, soft 3, soft 4. Those are our 3 colors. Let's turn the crossfade down, make it a little bit more obvious. And it can stay just like that for now. So basic effect, nothing fancy, nothing special. We can record that. Now, if we record this down here into our playbacks, and you could obviously record it in the XC screen as a button as well. We have our effect. We push our effect up. We say red, white, and blue. And in theory, we have a red, white, and blue effect. Now, I should probably change that so that it's not that type of group effect. So we actually see it scroll. So we'll go view effects, 100% spread, and we will do within groups. There we go. That's better looking. All right, so that's great. But when I choose colors, you see that it jumps. Now I can put a fade time on this, but it might not affect the effect. So if let's put a 5-second fade on here. Yeah, see, that doesn't do anything. It still gets a jump. It's not great. What you have to do if you want those to transition smooth is go into the Q, go into the effect, and once you've recorded the effect to a Q stack, you get a couple new options here. You get fade in and fade out. We put those to 3 seconds, and we go to our XQ screen, and we make everything white. You should see that it fades our color change now. So now we can have subtle effects changes and subtle transitions. This works again for intensity, position, color, beam, whatever effect you have. But you can now have subtle color changes. You don't have to just snap and slam into another color. This gives you the ability, again, to speed up and slow things down. So if we come down here, make it nice and slow, you get a nice long transition here. We'll turn the washers off so it's more obvious. Nice long transitions. If we slam it up, we get various snaps and fades. So kind of a cool thing. Yeah, so you can do a ton with soft palettes that we could talk about them for days. The effects is a great thing. The timing is the biggest thing. Remember that you can use advanced timing with any of these. So if I make a different cue for my spots, and we'll turn our effect off here. And we go to color and I do something like 3-star plus, soft one. And I record that. Now that that cue is active and it's LTP, so the latest expressance, the latest timing is this one. If I pick a new color, it's going to use that timing every time I transition colors. So again, just giving you more and more control of your show, and your timing works here as well. So if I slow it way down, you see that it slows way down. If I speed it way up, it speeds up. So all the same rules, all the cool stuff we just showed you over here applies over here. So I can make a stack of timing here. I can make buttons of timing here. I just got to use the soft palette in the queue. Cool. Let's see if we have any questions here. Looking at the YouTubes. Anything? I see a bunch of people saying hi, the usual suspects. Luke, you got anything on the Facebooks? I'm not looking at the Facebooks. Nothing. Wow. Everybody's either not here, still asleep, or I stumped everybody. Cool. Well, give it a play. Give it a try. Play with the soft palettes. Remember, the biggest holdup we find with most new users is they forget that you have to use the soft palette in the queue. That's the biggest thing. Once you remember that, it's just putting them in a region and poking buttons and making cool stuff happen. Yeah, as always, you can find us at www.chamsyslighting.com. If you have any comments, questions, or need some help, you can always email us or find us on various social media platforms, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. There is no Luke, only Zul. And I'm pretty sure that's Luke. He's not trying to take over the world, I don't think. So, cool, guys. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.